Hey, my name is Patrick O'Driscoll. I'm the co-founder of TVG. Our team has managed over $10 million of Meta ad spend for our e-commerce clients. And in this training, I'm going to show you exactly our walkthrough, our process, our workflow for when it comes down to testing and developing ads that will actually scale inside the ad account. This is a very juicy tactical training, so let's just dive right into it. I'll also show you our paid ads hub, which is what we use with our clients to show them these tests, these theories, and then report back to them what are winners and losers to make sure that when we're testing things, that communication is, we're communicating with the client on what's winning, what's not winning in the ad account. Okay, so this is the sophisticated stuff. Let's dive into it. So right here in front of us, we have basically this little workflow or little process flow of all the steps that we take to create an ad. So I'm going to walk you through it using an example of Nads Underwear, a very popular e-commerce brand. I'm going to walk you through kind of what they're doing and how it correlates to each step of this process. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to understand your offer. So this really goes down to what products are we actually selling and what are your KPIs and margins when it comes down to actually testing. So as you can see, one of the big things that we like to test and understand at the start is break-even ROAS. I'll show you this spreadsheet here. This is what we use for all of our clients. This first tab is exactly what I'm talking about here. Offers and KPIs. We can track if they're looking for, first purchase profitability, it'll be on over here. Or if we have multiple offers, you can kind of build them out down here. And then for lifetime value, you can also track this. So sometimes brands are looking to just break even on the front end, and we can actually see the long-term profitability based upon like 16, 90 day, 120 day lifetime value. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. So right here, we're just trying to understand your offer. What are your margins? What's your break-even ROAS? What's the threshold that we can start scaling your offer? Now we have to understand the offer from a foundational level on all the KPIs, your margins, your products, to then understand who your customer persona is. So as you can see right here, I have the Nads Underwear. I believe this is like their biggest pack, but they have variety packs to get multiple for one order. Obviously, I think they have like 3, 6, 12 packs. So as you can see, we're focusing on Nads Underwear down here. This is the offer. What I would figure out is, okay, what are your margins on these? What are your costs to get sold? And then I'd understand what our break-even ROAS is. That way we can start working through this and fully understand all our margins as we start to scale up. The next thing we have to do is identify the customer persona. Who are we speaking to? So we like to create like little characters that we speak to. And so for this one, I'm just saying like we're talking to like the tech bro, right? Very cliche persona. The Patagonia vest, the income of probably between 80 and 150,000 a year. They have that discretionary, funds to spend on things like underwear. That's really above, average price point. And they have certain beliefs. They have certain mentality that we can speak to, right? So we identify that customer's persona, let's say the tech bro, and then we establish that desire. What is the customer's deep, dark desires? Now, this is the stuff that if you want to market, if you want to advertise and actually work, then you need to understand the deep, dark desires of your customer. So when you think about the deep, dark desires of this tech bro, they want to be high testosterone performing alpha male. And that's kind of like what this persona, really communicates here with this little Giga Chad meme. Now, this seems funny and this seems like a joke, but this is truly what we do to create ads that actually convert and actually scale within the ad account. The next thing here is the market awareness. So right here we have Eugene Schwartz 5 levels of awareness. Now this is very foundational marketing 101 information here, but it really helps in terms of how we set up the advertising funnel to speak to everyone in each kind of area of awareness. So most aware is that they know your brand, they know your products, they know your price point, they know everything, they're sold. They just need like a special offer, something to get pushed over the edge. So they're the most aware, warmest customer. Typically that's where you're like retargeting them or sending like emails to because they're already way down into the funnel. Unaware is the most cold customers that have no idea about the problems, the solutions, your company, and you really need to use like scare them and educate them to get them into the mix. So I think the Nads Underwear is actually a good example of unaware and problem aware, because a lot of customers like the unique selling prop of Nads that they're organic cotton underwear. That's gonna basically, the theory is that current underwear, polyester, Calvin Klein, like basically will reduce your fertility as well as your testosterone levels potentially. Like there's a lot of claims around that. So a lot of customers are in this section where it's like, okay, why would I not buy from like a Calvin Klein or like one of those big brands? Well, that's where NADS has to communicate how they are different than competitors. So as you can see here, I'm going to jump into the ads playbook. So when we're working with a brand, as you can see, everything I'm talking about is also outlined in this spreadsheet. So you can see here, the status is basically the status of like this whole process where we are in the ideation phase. The offer, right, is like, that's what I just talked about down here, right? Identifying what offer, what products we're selling through our ad funnel. Okay. Customer persona, right? So you could say, you know, tech bro, and if some companies have like multiple personas they speak to, right? So you'd fill that in. Okay, so this is an option. So typically we create options. Let's just put it in here real quick. Right. Okay. Okay. Boom. Tech bro. The offer, right? So every single brand we bring on, we edit these options, and I'm gonna say NADS, right? Okay. So NADS, underwear, we're talking to the tech pro persona. Desire, alpha, male, high testosterone, fertility, right? Okay. Again, it's all options here. So with every brand, we're going to create drop downs here, and like, because we'll use the desire, usually with one product, one brand, they have like the same persona, they have some same desires. So I'm just going to say high testosterone. The important thing here with your ads, and what I'd recommend and what we always say inside the agency, is that we want to have each creative really speak to like one key thing. So as you can see here, we have the offer, the persona, high testosterone. We're going to say the awareness. As you can see, these are the 5 levels of awareness. Let's say they're unaware, and the hypothesis is that we're basically talking about polyester / traditional underwear causes infertility. And then we're going to kind of do like an us versus them angle. So let me jump back into our little workflow here to describe exactly what I'm talking about. So we have the market awareness. Okay, what's the idea? So the hypothesis is really like, let's do research. Let's look on Reddit. Let's look on customer reviews. Let's ideate. Let's think about what a good angle, a good marketing angle is to communicate to this customer demographic. So like, what's this theory? What's this idea? It's a hypothesis that we have to then test, right? So this is where like the best ideas start to come to, the top, right? We're always just ideating ideas. We're pitching them to the client. Hey, we have this idea. Hey, we have this angle for a hook, right? There's all these ideas. This is the ideation phase, and there should be a lot of time put into this hypothesis stage. You got to look at, like I'm saying, your competitors, Reddit, your customer reviews, research into like the science, right? If you have studies or there's things around like your materials or your ingredients, like you have to educate yourself around this. And this all goes back to like foundational copywriting skills, is that you need to truly understand your product, truly understand your customer. And a lot of this is actually education first, and then you form a hypothesis based upon those data sets and those ideas that you're getting through your research. So my hypothesis here is that basically cold customers are unaware that their typical Calvin Kleins that are polyester are decreasing their testosterone, and we need to communicate that and basically scare them into buying NADS underwear. So what's the one thing we're trying to communicate? We're trying to communicate that organic cotton equals high testosterone or high fertility, right? So it's one key message that we have to communicate through our ad creative. So we'll communicate that. Okay. Now let's go over to the brief section now. So as you can see here, right, this is basically what I'm talking about, right? Xing out us versus them, the Calvin Kleins are high polyester. And then over here, this is kind of like the goal and what we're trying to communicate, like sperm count, high testosterone levels, energy, drive, desire. Like I found this, I don't know what this ad is for, but again, these are kind of the main things I'm trying to touch upon with our ads. So with the brief phase, right, we're creating a script. We use an app called Foreplay to do this. So I'll just show you this real quick. Foreplay is amazing. So you can use Foreplay to basically go and find ads of your competitors. You can save them, and then you can create briefs and scripts and shot sheets and all that great stuff through Foreplay. So we use Foreplay, and maybe I'll record another video in the future about how to use Foreplay to create briefs and everything like that. But this is a good one. You can also just use like a Notion page or a Google Doc to create a script. And I'll probably publish another video about the process of creative scripting and everything like that. So type video, still, graphic, right? So is it a video, still, just like exactly what it sounds like, the placement there. So typically video, that can even be broken down into like high production video or like UGC style video, which I'll talk about here in a second. With still, usually that's like high quality product imagery, and then graphic is like very graphic heavy. Just some lingo that we use within the agency and that most people typically like to use as well. So brief, here's the link that we put the foreplay brief into. And I just want to talk about high level, the briefing process. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to identify the talent. So right here, I just said like a male influencer type. So we're either going to hire that UGC creator, or we're going to go look at influencers within that demographic and offer them, we have to compensate them, or someone within your company already that exists that could be the good look for this certain ad. So right here, I have like a good, just like stereotypical image of like a male influencer in shape that would probably do a great job communicating this to the target demographic. And so what we're going to do is we're going to script out the whole video. We're going to have multiple hooks per script. So for this guy, I believe his real name is Joe. Let's just call him Joe. We say, okay, Joe, here's the script. We have 3 hooks we want you to shoot. Here's all the B-roll we want you to shoot. Here's the talking head, or like the audio that we want, the voiceover for this video. And that way we're gonna have a nice script. We're gonna collect all those raw assets from the creator that we can then use for creative variations. So every time that you create an ad, when you go through this whole process of hypothesis to briefing and all this good stuff, you got to get your most bang for your buck. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're going to have an influencer shooting for you, you might as well get multiple different hooks, because the hook is like the one big thing, the first 3 seconds to stop the scroll and get them to watch. So you might want to have like 3 different hooks. So you could have like him holding up the underwear, or one on fire, or just funny creative ways to like stop the scroll, and you test that. And so that's where our video editing team will take all that creative back and then start to produce different versions of that ad. So we might have like a hook 1, hook 2, hook 3, and then you could just basically, in the editing process, you have the same body video, same call to action, but you're just testing the hooks. Or you can test more video overlay, more B-roll versus not B-roll, right? This is where things get very complex, but this is like the secret sauce that allows us to scale and test really fast. It's all about the feedback from the paid ads manager, the media buyer, to the creative team to be able to say, hey, this hook is working. Okay, great. Let's create more variations based upon that. So as we get to this right-hand side, this is really about the post-production, the video editing, as well as the testing into the ad account. Okay. So let me just jump over here. Right. So once the brief is all completed, we'll have the creative links here, and that will bring us now, right? Creative workshop. We have this tab basically for our team to ideate, pitch ideas to the client, get feedback, and then we bring it into, okay, final assets are done. Now let's bring them into the ad account, right? So this is our ad playbook. This allows every single client to approve things before they go live, to see what's going down, what's winning, what's losing in terms of, in the ad account. So they're not digging through the ad account and try to look at the ad set level and the ad level and try to find what's winning, what's not winning. This basically just a visual that's a live feed of all our ads, right? So this is a blank one. Obviously I have full maximum ones completely packed for our clients. So for the ad playbook section, last update, offer, title, headline. So this is the text when it comes down to Meta, right? When you add the headline and the primary text, what we recommend is like the 3-2-2 method. Very common this day and age. A lot of people talk about this, right? 3 creatives, 2 headlines, 2 primary texts, just because you don't want to have like too many variables that you're testing. If you had like 3, 5, 5, or like whatever the max is inside the ad account, every single new variation is just like a new variable in the mix. And like, just to keep it simple, just test this. And then basically over time, as you're testing your ads, you'll understand, oh, this headline is clearly working. This one's not. Let me test a new one against that. And basically it's just an A/B test between the headline and the primary text. It's not like an A, B, C, D, E text. If you're having like multiple variations here, it just becomes an absolute mess to test. So we recommend to keep it easy, because the creative is the biggest lever to pull. Then headline, primary, those are the other things you can test. Now that we have all our ads, now it's just a matter of dancing with Zuckerberg and just testing and iterating these ads. So what we're looking at, right, is, okay, how are we measuring success for these? Well, first we're going to let these ads test, and depending on your budget, usually we'll let them test for like, again, it depends on your budget. Because if you're spending a lot, you can get a test done in 24 hours. If you're spending, moderately or on the lower side, you might need 3 to 7 days to really see a test pan out. From that test, we're seeing, okay, what is in KPI? Usually we're looking at click-through rate. Usually we're looking at cost per acquisition. We're going to look at the ads that are within KPI, out of KPI, definite winners, definite losers, somewhere in the middle. Those definite losers we can kill pretty quick. We can understand, okay, this hypothesis was wrong. Maybe this hook definitely didn't resonate. Maybe this message didn't resonate at all. And then the clear winners, we take that back. We're like, oh my God, this is a winning hypothesis. We need to create more like this. So we basically just repeat this process, right? So once we get winners here, then we're like, okay, we got to make this hypothesis working. So let's get more creators. Let's create more variations for this and just keep testing it more and more. Once you have a winner, you just lean into that winner as hard as possible. And then the clear winners, you take that feedback saying, okay, yeah, we tested this, and you document those learnings. That's the whole point of this whole paid ads hub, is like, okay, that angle definitely didn't work. Like, don't even try to test that again. Again, because it's all about marketing. It's just like testing different things, having hypotheses, and like going to where the puck's going, like going to where there is showing signs of profitability and scale. And so over time, as you get more and more winners, you're just basically just like iterating off of that, right? The top e-commerce brands know what their 3 to 4 main hypotheses are, and they know that resonates with their audience, and they're just a machine of creative to get those produced. So that's basically the entire process, from ideation, understanding the offer, understanding your customer persona, establishing that desire, market awareness, right? Because you can create ads that are very, I actually want to go back to this, very unaware, is like, okay, you need to educate them using like science and data and talk about like why, polyester is so damaging to, their testosterone. And then the most aware, that's like, if it's just like, okay, sale live, buy now, like they just need to see an offer and they'll buy. So every single ad is, basically trying to move someone throughout this process. So the most cold people are on the unaware, problem aware section. And then the middle of funnel is that product aware, solution aware. And the bottom of funnel is most aware. They just need to get pushed over the edge to buy. So that is our process. Now, what I encourage you to do is think about your products, think about your customers, and go about this exact process, right? This exact process, and then document everything through the paid ads hub. I'll leave a template for this down in the description below. You can grab our paid ads hub, right? This is exactly how to use it. You can calculate all your offers and KPIs, your break-even CPA, your break-even ROAS, lifetime value metrics right here, creative workshop, ideate creatives here, and then put them into action and then test them here. The last point I just want to add is that performance here. So you can see testing, winner, loser. So if they're in the testing phase, we'll keep them testing. And as soon as we know if they're winner or loser, we'll mark them. If it's a winner, that means we go back and we basically, create more variations like that. If it's a loser, we know that's a bad hypothesis, bad angle. We don't want to create more ads like that. So that's exactly our process to scaling brands, spending 100 to multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on ads in the e-commerce space. And if you would like an extra set of eyes or learn more about how our team could potentially help you out to scale your brand, I'll leave a link down below to schedule a call with me personally to scale your brand up. If you like this training, if you want to see more like this, please drop a thumbs up on it, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be dropping trainings just like this every single week. I appreciate you watching this video. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.